makes me want to get a car with a different color so I can find it in those lots. Like a gray Corolla, it's like imagine a serial killer. Like, yeah, let's narrow it down to 500 cars. Yeah, I saw him in a gray Corolla. Like, okay, thanks. Not,
Cust,
we're not getting anywhere.
Cust has a Corolla too.
No, I don't. I have a Camry.
Well, Camry's a little bit better.
Call it a Corolla. If I had a Corolla, my mats wouldn't say Camry on them if they were a Corolla.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Code Mayo at Underdog Fantasy will get you a deposit bonus of up to $250, so you should do that right now. You should also subscribe to the exclusive feed for this, the 49th edition of CUST CORNER!
CUST CORNER, it's CUST CORNER. CUST CORNER, it's CUST CORNER. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's CUST CORNER, it's CUST CORNER. CUST CORNER,
Well, the numbering is hard to count anymore because so many of those episodes are conglomerates of like 4 months of shows that it's hard for me to even keep track of the numbers.
I mean, they're in order. That's
yeah, but isn't there like a couple of shows that are like show 37 A, B, C, D, and 38 A, B? Like at that point,
there's one.
Come
There's one collection of CUST Corners that's an A, B, and C. Yes, that's it.
So at this point, it's really like 53 or 54.
It's 40,
I'll give you
49.
credit too. I was moment of weakness. I was at the store and they had like Eat More, and I tried one, and I'm not going to say it was my favorite chocolate bar. It was edible. It wasn't shit like I thought it was when I was younger. And Big Turk, I'll give you credit. I'm not a real jelly guy with my diabetes, but they're better bars than I gave them credit for.
Eat More is really good, but Eat More has no chocolate in it. That's the thing. Eat More is just toffee with peanuts. It's a delicious treat.
Yeah, it is. Less sugar too.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's like probably somewhat healthy for you, given the other options that you could have selected.
Somewhat healthy. That's a stretch. But so what are we doing, Pat? We got Olympics. Was that the topic we got going on here? What's Tim up to?
Well, we got many a topics. We usually let Cust lead it off, but he did want to talk about the Olympics. So, Tim, floor is yours.
I have this idea, and I really would love to see it implemented. The same way that everywhere there are health clubs and gyms, I'd like there to be facilities where people could actually participate in Olympic events, but scale down to accomplishable tasks. For example, high jumps or pole vaults, but at levels that the average person could actually do, not Olympic height. All the various sports, like some of the BMX stuff, some of the both winter and summer, by the way, there should be facilities where you can actually participate in the somewhat obscure Olympic disciplines at a level that is somewhat accomplishable, like water polo. Well, instead of regular water polo, you do it in the shallow end of a pool. So it's like gentle water polo, but you have all the fun of the game without the exhaustedness of having to swim the entire time. I really think that if these sorts of places popped up, they would be very popular.
Okay, so you realize for high jump, for example, if we're going to start with high jump, when you go to a field, with the track and the field and practice high jump, it's not just set to an Olympic height. You understand that, right? You can adjust it?
No, but you make it like the height of like an everyman, and you give them some assistance, like a little trampoline or something. The same way that, like, for example, I have trouble doing pull-ups at the gym, but they have those machines where you counterbalance your weight, so it makes it easier to do a pull-up. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. And it makes that exercise far more enjoyable.
Tim, I got to tell you, these super facilities, so you're telling me we need water, sand, gymnastic equipment, where like the cost of this thing, I like it's like,
and don't forget the horse stuff. There has to be stuff for
what
horses
about dressage?
Too. I want dressage. Dressage is essential.
Like, is
I
it
love dressage.
Dressage on a mechanical horse?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if you would use like a really trained dressage horse and you would have someone take you through the motions. But anyway, other than the things that are completely impossible, like sailing or whatever, I would like to see all the disciplines, if possible, in some way, shape, or form, sort of shrunk down to the everyman level. And people would be really interested in that. I think people would really enjoy that. It would be a way to stay fit. It would be less monotonous than if you go to the gym, lifting weights, running on a treadmill, using the rowing machine. Boring. You know what would be fun? Triple jump. You know what would be fun? Long jump or catapult. or shot put or javelin. That would be fun.
You can try.
Waiver forms like
Yeah.
equipment, death. It's great in theory, Tim. Like I'm with you. Like maybe we could do a ping pong facility. Like you can't mix water, tools. We need people there that are going to watch people. They could die. They could have heart attacks. They could put a javelin through a guy's cranium. They could put a shot put like into somebody's temple. Like this is obviously waters. Even like what could work? Table tennis, maybe. I'm trying to think about your super facility, like what we could fit in it.
Pole vault?
Tennis. Pole vault you got to.
But at lower levels, not at Olympic levels, at lower levels. So
But
every man could do
but
it.
doesn't the pole need to be a certain like length in order to get the actual?
You can make it smaller.
Can you?
make
No,
it smaller.
what I'm saying is that I don't think that you can. I think it needs to be a certain length so you can get the spring to get over the
So
vault.
you can spring. Yeah, that's right. What's Keebler elves here? Like, what
but you don't have to go as high. You can have a much lower level.
Yeah, but there's no bend in the stick at that point. It's the length that gives it the bend.
No, but I'm talking about the bar to cross. The bar can be a lot lower, so it's a lot easier to get over.
Here's the thing.
And this is not all just choose your own adventure. It would be like there are personal trainers at a gym.
Terrible athletes don't want to do the Olympic sports, and that's what this gym is for. People who suck at sports.
I don't agree. I think it's for people who would love to participate in all these really cool activities, but feel like there's no way for me to do it. If I want to go velodrome biking, there's no way for me to do that.
How the fuck are you going to fit a bike facility inside the super facility, inside another super facility with water? Like,
well, but that's no different than having a gym that also has a pool. It also has, a squash court, which also has, like, these health clubs are big. A lot of places have very big health clubs. Like they're not all little tiny places that fit at the corner of Front Street and Bay Street. Some of them are actually large facilities, right?
Well, for one thing, there actually is one that's very close to Front and Bay that is like a super facility. It's just underground. You would never know it was there.
This is what I'm talking about. Large, big facilities where you already accommodate all kinds of different things.
But they don't have sports with death and like where you have to sign forms and we need cops and we need like.
I don't know that we have to go that far. But
no, Tim, people at the Olympics are probably crushing a lot of La Fin de Le Monde or whatever. I don't know what the beer of France is right now, but like, you know what I mean? Then they're going to try to pole vault and put one like right in their jugular vein. Like, I just don't see this. Like, this is not the NFL experience. After 30 bush lights, I can go kick a field goal or throw a pass. Like, you know what I mean? This is a little bit different, you know?
Well, we could curate it then, but some of the other sports that would be a little less dangerous, I guess. But there's all kinds of them that are like most of the. I mean, look, at the average high school, people are doing the field events with limited supervision. Not like there's 15 people hanging around. Like, we can make this work.
Then why wouldn't you just go to one of those if they're already doing it? Why? I mean, you're the cheapest person alive anyway. There's no fucking chance you'd pay for this.
Yes, I would. I'd love this gym membership if you had an Olympic membership rather than a Good Life membership.
No, we have to do, Pat.
Hold on, this sounds like the Make-A-Wish Foundation gym for like people that
does
suck
sound
at
amazing.
sports.
It does sound amazing, doesn't it, Cam? It sounds
It really
amazing.
does. It's a beautiful dream, Tim, but I'm going to tell you, you have to do the sport. Like, the whole problem is you have different like substances in this facility. Like, it's very difficult to do. Like, field hockey can be like indoor soccer can be, that's like what I'm talking about. That's realistic.
Handball.
Yeah, that's the thing. But then we're talking, if you want to include water polo, hold on,
but it's water polo in just the shallow end, according to Tim. So it's not even water polo. It's standing in water and throwing a fucking ball.
It's gentle water polo.
Gentle water polo is amazing, by the way. What a sport!
It is a fun sport.
Also incredibly difficult. That's like the
it's impossible.
Too difficult for the average person. So we need to bring it down.
No, it's not. That's the sport. The hard part about the sport and doing the sport is the treading water and swimming the entire time.
I'm trying to bring it down.
No, you're not.
The level of the average Joe. You just don't want that.
There is no average Joe in water polo. If you stand in the shallow end and throw a ball around, that's something completely different. It's not water polo.
It's gentle water polo.
It's not. It's not water
modified.
Polo. It's not water polo.
It's modified. It's like the cricket test matches versus a regular cricket game.
It's not.
Yeah, it kind of is actually.
It's not. It's like
one goes on for 6 days
instead of a month.
Yeah, exactly. One goes on much shorter, much easier. This is a brilliant idea, and people would flock to this too. And these time of
then why does it
would
exist?
also because there are, as Cam mentioned, complications and issues that people just haven't really worked through yet. But I mean, I don't know if anyone's even had this idea yet.
Tim, can you tell Cam about your indoor golf course idea?
I think there should be a complete 18-hole indoor golf course that's like the size of an airplane hangar, like the one they have in Washington.
Which is not big
for
enough.
bowling.
As we've already sized out, not big enough to fit your indoor.
We could
18
make
hole.
my indoor golf
Oh,
course
so now,
smaller
so,
by making
hold
the,
on. So now
by making the holes closer to each other.
Par threes?
No, well, there would be some par threes, but it's an 18-hole golf course. But we use like artificial turf, but like the good stuff, not like the crappy stuff.
Oh.
And it's like it runs 24/7. It's all indoors. You have climate control, wind control. I think people would love it. It would be a lot of fun.
So
Where the
Cam,
hell are we going to put it?
Well, you have to put it out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere where you
it's
have the
gotta
land.
be a
right?
desert.
You have to put it somewhere where you have a lot of land. That's granted, but it's just 4 walls, a roof, some
Oh.
trusses, and then you just build on the inside.
Four-
It-
Pat, I will say that. I
hold
will
on.
say
Cam,
this for Tim.
Cam,
Yep.
you got to
Yep.
listen. 4 walls
Yep.
and a roof, and he expects this to stand up.
and some trusses and I-beams.
This thing, like I said, is like 8.5 square kilometers. It's not going to stand up.
It could stand up.
The Boeing hangar that
Or
he's
build
talking-
it like
Cam-
the Superdome or the Metrodome that used pressure to keep the roof up.
Great. That's fantastic news. It would take probably the size of what? 25 Metrodomes in order to build
I
this?
like the concept. I like the concept.
So
Thank you.
The airport hangar that he's talking about, Cam, 10 years ago cost $1.1 billion.
Yeah, we can't make it. It's just it's a pink elephant. We can't make money. There's no way.
No.
But you can eventually because
When?
you can run it
When?
24/7, 365.
How
with
much
stuff
does
and
it
running.
cost to play at this golf course?
Doesn't matter because
Yes.
in the long run you'll eventually make the money
you
back.
won't. You won't make your money. So, but you said you can control the wind in it. So you need to have. Someone told me,
Fans.
Kenny. It was Kenny. I have a text from Kenny right now. He talked to an HVAC guy about this very idea to get some pricing out of what that would cost. So he said, let's see here. Oh, that's a plane ticket problem. He's like, yeah, I was bullshitting with this HVAC vendor of mine, and I told him about CUST indoor golf course idea. He said the HVAC system alone would be close to $200 to $250 million.
Seems like a lot.
So seems like a lot. I mean, you're the same guy who thought a car charger was $200.
Like it does seem like a lot, but look, even if it costs a little bit more than we thought, because it'll be up and running 24/7, 365, and because people will flock to it because it's an extremely cool idea.
How much does it cost?
In a country where people
How much does
can't
it cost to
golf
play around?
half of the year?
How much does it cost to play?
I don't know. Like set a price because eventually,
it's your fucking course. Set a price.
let's say $100 a round. Let's just set a price at $100 a round.
$100 a round.
Yeah,
That's what you're going with.
We got to
sure.
hire.
Who cares? Because eventually
ununionized
it'll all work
workers
out.
too, Tim. Like, you're gonna have to get the HVAC guy for a lot cheap. Like, you're gonna have to cut costs. And
Nothing
safety.
is without complication. I can
Oh.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But like, so instead of just having ideas, we should just shrug our shoulder and say, well, nothing can ever get better. Nothing can ever be good. Nothing can ever be cool. No, we can't have that.
You seem to think that once the facility, and you've spent your probably $2 billion on it, that there's no more cost attached to it anymore. If you charge $100 per round, and let's say everyone did play 4 people in a group 24/7 for the entire year, I don't even know that would cover the lighting expense.
Yes, it would.
Do you know what lights cost?
Yes, it would.
It doesn't sound like you do.
Yes, it would. Yes, most certainly would. You can even have solar panels, for heaven's sake, on the roof. Get big rebates.
That's an idea. I like the
Thank
solar
you.
panels. And now we're getting there. See, we're cutting costs, Pat.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, there you
Solar
go.
panels.
That's profit. Now it's just profitable.
We gotta find an HVAC back guy. It's like he's got some shady shit on the side too. He's not unionized or he works on his own rules. I'm gonna tell you this, Tim. What about some sports, Pat? Like I have some sports that should be in the Olympics that are not there.
Okay.
I did a list. Darts. It's one of the
Yes.
most heavily televised sport in Britain. It's not hard to do. Everybody's drunk. You go into a small room, you throw darts. The fact that it's not an Olympic sport is fucking nuts to me.
I agree.
Lawn bowling / bocce, whatever you want to do. That's easy to do too. You got fucking like what's like it's a great sport for older people too. Lawn bowling and bocce, you can get guys from different countries there. I also said super cornhole. That's probably not going to work. It'd have to be 20 yards back with a weighted bag. Not like these losers at football games that play easy cornhole. It has to be professional. MMA, why not? I don't understand that.
I said this on the show the other day.
We've been over this. You can't have MMA. The guys would just get hurt. That's it, for no pay.
Well, we can come up with side deals. But anyway, that's something to negotiate, like Tim's Palatial Golf Palace. Competitive eating, 4 foods, not hard. You do 1 hot dogs, craft dinner, and a bread item like pizza and something else. Done.
Chicken wings.
Yes, thank you. Indoor soccer, it's a no-brainer. Water skiing, why not? Native sports, and this one, it should be implemented immediately. Alaskan high kick is one of the coolest things anybody will ever see in their lives. I'm not going to say we're going to accept knuckle hop, which is very hard. It's basically a 200-meter dash on your knuckles. It's feats of strength style like the Scottish Games. And head pull, basically it's a gigantic elastic band. Who's got a stronger neck and head? Those are sports that I would like to implement. I think some of them are very good ideas.
Well,
I agree with you.
I mean,
I bring them all in.
You could just start your own fat Olympics and have all these sports.
You're right, Pat. This is like kind of like cottage drunk Olympics I started with, but competitive eating would be a little bit. Hey, we watch it on the 4th of July. But I will say this: this is not even like a hot take or a freezer cold take. Darts. The fact that darts isn't in there. You know how many people watch darts? Those drunken Brits just chucking darts, and there's guys from different countries too. You got Wales, you got Scotland, you got France, Belgium. You know, the Netherlands. Like, there's a lot of great darts players from all. Like, these things get crazy numbers. They pack the place and get wasted. It's a party event. You're right, Pat. My events seem more tailgate style, like super cornhole, bocce, lawn bowling. Yeah, but that could be for a clean crowd too. Seniors, competitive eating.
If you bring in darts, do you have to bring snooker in too? Because snooker does huge ratings, and I also love that they all wear tuxedos when they play.
You know what? I have no problem with snooker, Tim. I think that's
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think snooker's fine. Billiards is actually a great game. Like, hey, they're letting in all this other stuff. You know, I'm not going to cut up breakdancing or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, what's the difference? Like snooker and darts? Like, are you nuts? Like, it's a license to print money, and I'm dead serious. Like, that's not even like a joke or anything.
They used to have tug of war in the Olympics too.
Oh,
wouldn't that be a fantastic event?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, who wouldn't want to watch that?
Tim's making sense, Pat. Tug of war is wicked. Country versus country, just big dudes out there. Tug of war is cool. See, now these are like kids events when we went to camp. Tug of war.
So you've basically put in games people play at their cottage over like a drunken long weekend, the strongman games, the Highland games, the native games, and just taken all of those sports and put them all together, and now they're in the Olympics?
Basically,
well, they put how many X Games events have they added to the Olympics? Like, what's the difference?
I mean,
I'm with Tim here. What about water skiing?
That'd be great.
Water skiing?
Yeah, why can't you water ski?
Slalom skiing? Come on. That's easy.
The only problem with water skiing is, I think I said this on the live show, is I really want to reduce the amount of judged events that are in the Olympics. And adding water skiing, I think, would inevitably, I don't know any way that wouldn't be a judged event.
Well, the problem is, Tim, it's the same thing with like USA, Canada basketball and stuff. You get a shady referee. The best sports for unjudged stuff would be darts, because you can't lie about where you threw it. Snooker, it is what it is. Like those type of sports. That you're right, and that's a double whammy because they're perfect. We don't have corrupt people involved, and we know Olympics and FIFA soccer, encrusted diamond briefcases and all the other fucking shit that goes on there. Hey, I'll send you the cryptocurrency. Yeah, there's a lot of shady business. So these sports at least are on the up and up. Like some of these referees in these like FIFA events, God, they're already on the take. We know that.
Okay, so these are anything that you want to add, Tim, of throwing new sports in?
What about highlight?
You know what, Tim? Honestly, your golf endeavors and budgets are a real problem, but right now you're coming back to me strong. Highlight is one of the best sports. Remember that highlight controversy on Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack, where they blew up the guy in the car? That was like one of my favorite episodes.
Is that like
anyway,
40 years ago?
Yeah, Pat, it was awesome. Like highlight was a big deal in Miami, Florida. They had like a shady, like corrupt highlight league. But I'm telling you, highlight is wicked. They had a big during the Open Championship. Weren't they talking about a big highlight game between Cork and another count? My mom's.
I thought they were talking about Hurley.
Oh, hurling, and highlight and hurling. Well, I think both. If Tim's going highlight, I'm going hurling. Hurling is a great sport. That should be an Olympic sport. It's amazing.
How big is highlight? Like, how many countries
It's
participate?
Huge.
You
Let's
say
look
that, but
it
like,
up right now.
does anywhere in Europe play highlight? Or is it just like a Latin American sport?
No, they got the USA. They got leagues all over the place. How many countries play highlight?
Yeah.
I don't know. United States, Spain, France. Oh, hold on. I'm right. Spain, France, Italy, Mexico, USA, Philippines, Indonesia. Ding, 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 ding.
Let's
You
get
got
it.
enough.
Get it in there. Then we can put in more racquetball sports.
Hey,
Like
me and Tim
squash.
aren't just talking shit right now. Like, these are actually legit ideas.
Yeah, we have
golf-
ideas.
His golf facility, it's a nice dream, and I'd love to play 18 holes of indoor golf because God knows I sweat all the time in the heat.
Yes.
Air controlled. I'd love to be comfortable, but
Being outdoors is awful. Being indoors is great. And now you get to take something that is good outdoors and make it even better by being indoors. But no, because the building might be a little big, we had to have to give up on the dream.
Well, you also said it would take 5 heat pumps to heat the place.
I don't
and
know
to
the
cool
exact
place.
number. I am not an HVAC person. I'm not a heating person. Yeah, but however many heat pumps and wind fans you need to get in there.
That doesn't cost any money to run those?
Well, it does, but again, like if it's a super attraction and people are flocking to it, just sooner or later the revenues will outstrip the expenses.
In your lifetime or in a million lifetimes? Because the answer to
We
both
don't-
is no.
this highlight idea is so strong. We got a lot of different places in the world too. Like, it's global.
Like
I thought I was with you, Pat. Like, I didn't think it was this many. Philippines, France, like everybody's into it. I knew they had clubs in Florida. It's a really big thing. Some guys might get clipped. There's a couple shady leagues, but if the international committee, Olympic committee takes over, it'll be nothing but clean.
Paul had something to chime in with, it looked like.
Yes.
Tim
Hey,
doesn't
Paul.
seem very concerned about like when this building comes crashing down on people. He's like, we just need 4 walls and a roof. And it's just like, think about the legal ramifications of when.
Well, obviously it needs to be structurally sound and built by people who are engineers. I'm not putting it together.
It's the size of
I'm not
80
buying
was it
400 sheds from Costco and putting it together.
8 airport hangars, was it?
Yeah, 8 Boeing.
I like the size of the one in Washington, maybe
Which
one and a half of them.
Which wouldn't fit anything. And it needs to be like quadruple the height.
Whatever the
Whatever. They're just adding,
whatever. That's-
money onto it. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars here. And you're charging
you mean?
$100 a round. And why would anyone want to play it in the summertime when you can play golf
'Cause it-
outdoors?
because it
100
would be
bucks
much
a round.
better.
It's quite. I know at the first time it's a great experience for $100. After that, we'll see how it goes. But I'm with Tim there. But you know me, Pat, being Scottish. It's like Skinner and the Simpsons with the books. The kids' education. Sorry, money. Money. That's the problem.
Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Supercharger, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. Everyone who tunes into the Pat Mayo Experience knows from time to time I like to talk to you about some health supplements that I end up taking, and I've been doing Timeline's Mito Pure now for about a month. Feel great, and I think you can too. Take 2 soft gels a day for 2 months, and you can see significant improvements in your cellular energy, your muscle strength, and your endurance. That was the big thing. I've been golfing more this summer and lifting less. Yet when I go back to the gym for my once a week, like max lift, I'm not really atrophying that much. I'm not losing a ton of muscle, which is absolutely fantastic news for me and my golf game, because if you work out too much, then you get too sore, you get too stiff, you need to retain that flexibility. I'm retaining my muscle mass at the same time although I'm not working out as much. And it comes in 2 product designs to fit your needs. They're berry powder, which is great to mix into your breakfast, yogurt, or daily smoothie. That's how I've been doing it. I've been eating some strawberries, raspberries, blackberries with a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of protein powder. Then boom, Timeline's Meadow Pure right on top of that. Or they have soft gels for the days where you're just on the run and wanted something convenient to grab and go. So Timeline is offering 10% off your first order of Meadow Pure right now. So go to timeline.com/Mayo to get that 10% off. All right? Cam, I sent you. I sent you a list of pet peeves.
Yes.
And for viewers of the show, we might be doing a pet peeves bracket coming up. We had a viewer of the show construct it. We're going to tweak it a little bit, add in some things. Sia actually hooked me up with the guy. So it might be some like fun August content before we get too far into football season and try to fill up the airwaves with that. But you took a look at the list, so I wanted to know which ones really stuck out to you.
I love your list, Pat, by the way, and I'm going to go over it. Things that I do. Let me see. I wrote down some quadrants that I liked from you. Things that I do, and I'm guilty of. I never back into a spot. I always go in frontwards.
See, I feel like Cust is on the same page as you. Too tricky to go in backwards for Tim. I feel like
I just like to get in quick. I get in quick.
I look for a pull through.
What if
I also find places, Pat.
Then I'll just park in frontwards and back out.
I also like places with lamps and numbers on them because I get lost a lot. Like I can go to a mall, like a small mall, and get lost. I actually had a panic attack in an underground parking. I kept on walking and walking. I couldn't find my car. I flipped out. Like
Seinfeld.
Like, no, it was scary, Tim. Like I'm like, I can't get the fuck out of here. Like I thought I was going to be there for like the night, and I finally figured it out. Like, but it was like not easy. Maybe I have a real directional problem. What do I do?
Hold on.
Drive with ice on the car.
Don't just reel off like you're just like Job here with all of the great idea, a year's worth of ideas, just running them down.
I'm sorry, Pat. I don't know the way that this works. I know you like to milk the cow.
Yeah, we got to talk these through a little bit. So, tip number 1 to like any sort of parking structure whatsoever. If it's bigger than like one floor, if it has F4, D3, whatever it might be.
Take a photo.
Just text it to yourself. That's what I do. I mean, the photo works.
Oh, I take a photo.
I do too, and I take a photo. But you have to understand some of these massive structures now, like up looks down and down looks. I know I sound crazy saying this, but it's true. Like I went down and I'm like, D3 is still D3. Like it takes 3 spirals to do the other one. So it's actually not level. No, Pat, it really is.
Like, at the nexus of the universe.
Yeah, it was huge. It was absolutely huge. Like the one at Cooksville Station, whatever, it's moderately good, but the one at Square One, you could get lost in there. The thing's huge. It's one of the biggest malls. I'm telling you, man. It's like it's scary. And on a Friday night with a bunch of kids around too, like I was freaking out. Like I was looking for medication. I had problems. I'm not lying.
You thought the youths were gonna get you?
No, I'm not afraid. If some kid wants to come at me, unless he's got a weapon, I'm game. But I was scared because they're running in packs and I can't find my Corolla. That's another thing. Owning a Corolla, it's like, it's not different than any other car. It almost makes me want to get a car with a different color so I can find it in those lots. Like a gray Corolla, like imagine a serial killer. Like, yeah, let's narrow it down to 500 cars. Yeah, I saw him in a gray Corolla. Like, okay, thanks. We're not getting anywhere.
Cust has a Corolla too.
No, I don't. I have a Camry.
Well, Camry's a little bit better.
Call it a Corolla. If I had a Corolla, my mats wouldn't say Camry on them if there was a Corolla.
It sounds like you're pretty down on Corollas, Tim.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them, but that's not what I have.
You're making fun of the Corolla owner?
I'm not making fun of anything.
Camry. Oh, a Camry.
Hold on. I'm not making fun of a Corolla. I'm a Toyota person. But like my car's not a Toyota. It's a Camry. I like the bigger car.
It's a Toyota. It's a fucking Camry, not a Corolla. It's better than a Corolla, which it is. Corolla is a little bit under Camry.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with it. Corolla's a good car. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing to look down one's nose at. It's just not what I drive.
No, I prefer a Camry as well.
Additionally, Cam, if one day you get a brand new car, you can just press a button and it will back into the space for you.
Yeah. I don't know, Pat. I kind of, maybe we'll do that. I don't like that.
I was dubious too, but you can turn on like the parking sensor and it will both parallel park and go backwards for you. It's great. You just sit there on your phone.
That scares me.
I'm with Tim here. I like to do it. I know. I like to do it myself as well.
But you don't do it. How do you like to do it yourself when you said you never do it?
You win. You're right. I have no rebuttal. I
And
just pull it frontwards.
Also-
No, I'm usually rushing to the liquor store when I tape a show or whatever. I got 20 minutes. I'm like every second matters. I'm in. I'm not dead, and I could back it out later. I just want to hit the destination front end and then get back. I know it's probably stupid, whatever, because you get out quicker the other way. But I think my initial landing on the property front is more important. I'll deal with backing out later. I need product in car first, if you're getting my drift. And I'm making sense to CUST because I can hear that laughter means yes.
well, I don't understand why people back into their spaces at grocery stores or anything where you're bringing stuff from a store to your car. I'm with you on that. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Oh, sorry. Are we supposed to save some of the material, Patrick? Or
No, you go for it, pal.
I am guilty too. Like when I'm walking around, like I saw dog food. My dad wanted I get a certain kind for his dog. He's got diarrhea. I wanted to get him one with better probiotics in it. It was way more than I thought. By the way, never shop at Pet Value. If you get a sponsor with them, Pat, I apologize. I got pads for my dog, for my dad's dog that were $70. I found the same ones at like a Walmart for like 25. Like, fuck off, people. I get it. You're a specialized dog store and you do grooming, but you can't rip off people like that. That was sinister. But anyway, I leave stuff in other aisles. I've been guilty. Like, I'll walk around with it for a while and just like put it in where the Classico is. And it's a shit move. I know somebody has to clean it, but I do that.
So does
I'm not
CUST.
going to lie about it.
That's CUST's
No, I
entire
don't.
shopping experience. You did it. You stole an old man's pie and did it.
No, I didn't steal anyone's pie. The pie was on the table for anybody to purchase.
Then why didn't you purchase
I
it?
do. I also like eat at the Olive Bar and don't pay for the full thing.
Awesome.
Guilty.
That's great stuff. You know, Cam, CUST was dubious about when you had mentioned that, you try to maybe switch some stickers around on the meat and things like that.
I try not to do that anymore.
Try not
no
to.
one would do that.
You say no one would do it. Cam, have you done that before?
Yes, I have. I
Oh.
have. Tim, and that's stealing. I know. I had one guy that liked me on Twitter. He turned on me. He was right. But I'm going to say this. There is a rule in stores. If there is not a specific price, you get the thing for 1 cent. I've tried to use that and it worked. My girlfriend said it was true. I said bullshit because I tried and they made me pay full price. But I will say this. If I go to the meat bin and the best you could do when things are frozen, the sticker doesn't stay on them. If there's no sticker, that's not my problem. That is not
Well, that's different,
my
sure.
problem. That is a product that doesn't have a barcode and I can do whatever I want. But Pat, I admit, I've done sticker switching before, which is not good. It's wrong, and I admit it. I'm not a thief. I will never come over to your home, steal your beer or your liquor or do anything like that. I've never done that, but I have switched stickers before in times of need, usually after big gambling losses. I'm guilty.
Well, at least you show remorse, unlike Jeff, who steals those bags at Superstore every time he goes and doesn't apologize for it.
Oh, I that's my problem. Like I tell the truth, which is probably not very good because now it's on tape. And I got problems in the future unless I get a good lawyer because I've admitted to these things. Pat, I don't do it anymore, but I do have an issue with stickers now. They've gone from 50% to 20 and 30%. No explanation why. Food is going up in price. Like, no, what happened? If it's 50% off, it should be 50% off. Now these assholes are like, 15% off, 20% off. Go fuck yourself. But for a reduced item, you're going to cut it by 20. It should be half and half. It almost gives me a reason to, but I'm a grown man, not going to do it.
Well, you said you're very truthful, so I have to ask you the question that someone asked me the other day. If you couldn't lie, like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, who wouldn't you want to see during the course of a day?
My neighbor?
Oh, really? Barb?
No, the new one across the street. They really pissed me off.
You don't want to tell them that?
I just it's late at night. I just rather just keep to myself. They have like a hole in their screen, so I guess sometimes when I'm walking around in my underwear and stuff like that, I kind of peer over and they're looking at me. They don't sleep. They play games like they're like gamers and they're up all the time because I work the night shift. I really miss the Scottish lady across the street. We talked about life. We talked about good stuff, and these new punks across the street. I just don't like them, and I like everybody, Pat. I think they're punks.
How about you, Tim? Who wouldn't you want to see? Is it a
Probably
dog?
our friend Tim Butts, because he would just badger me nonstop and ask me questions I didn't want to answer.
Okay, so it wouldn't be like a doctor or anything like that.
Oh no, I don't.
Actually, my
Why
doctor's
would
on
I
my
lie?
list, too.
Why would I
He-
lie to my doctor?
Yeah, I feel
but my
I feel like
doctor-
you would.
That is a very bad habit to get into.
Yeah, I would.
doctor's
I
an
would
idiot.
agree, but I could see you doing it.
No, I just don't see that has. There couldn't be any less EV imaginable than lying to your physician.
No, people lie to their doctors
Actually, you
all
know
the
what?
time.
I kind of disagree with that. Say you had a drug or an alcohol problem. You really want to tell that guy? Is he a snitch? Is he going to tell people that he's like, oh, your levels are like my guy? I told
Don't
him.
doctors have an oath of confidentiality?
I don't know. Lawyers do, Tim. I'm not sure if doctors do, but I'm not going to tell him that. Yeah,
You're not
He goes-
doctor-patient privilege?
Here's what he says. He goes, "Oh, you could have two drinks a week." I'm like, 2 drinks? Like I have 2 drinks, like glasses of wine after the show. Like I don't even want to tell this guy. He's going to think I'm some kind of crazy, and I'm not by any stretch. There's people who drink more than me, a lot more. I don't want to tell this guy anything. He already misdiagnosed my diabetes 3 times. I'm like, sir, I have diabetes. The guy sent me to the same freaking ultrasound twice. This fucking guy. I go, I've had the pelvic. It's abdominal. Like, why am I telling you to do your job? You're the doctor. God, I hate this. Like, do better. These guys just throw darts. I get it. I know our health system needs help. Fuck, I took my dad in there. My dad broke his arm, Pat. They don't even open on Saturday. We're there on Sunday. I'm there at 6 o'clock in the morning, first person there. We got out in 2 hours. God forbid the people that came later. I talked to this old Italian lady. She goes 4 to 5 hours. I go, that's a shit show. What a gong show. And this is called like a fracture clinic at the hospital. My dad had to get a sling. He had a broken arm, but he broke it in the right part. So he's got a sling.
So he's
That's it.
okay.
Oh, he's okay. But I'm saying I went to the facility at 6 o'clock in the morning. Thank God I was one of the first people there. And we got out at 8:30 for a sling.
Tim,
Took
I
a
think
long
you'd be
time to
surprised
sling.
how often people lie to doctors.
I just don't see the upside. Why would my doctor, whose job it is to make me better or prescribe things for me if I'm not feeling well or whatever, why would I want to mislead him or her in any way? I feel like that's somebody you want to
Wanna
be
know why,
completely
Tim?
forthcoming with.
I think I wanted to be forthcoming too, but when you make mistakes on my on my
Fair
medications
enough.
all the time, and I tell you I don't feel well with this, and this guy's just spinning the fucking wheel, and it's not Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White and Pat Sajak. It's like, oh, let's try this one. We'll put you on 10 milligrams. Where you're the doctor. How the fuck do I know? That's why my mom used to self-medicate herself, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I go, I feel good when I'm on this amount. Who wants to give you more? Like, it's a balancing act. I'm not going to say lie to your doctor, but some of these guys don't have the answers. That's my opinion.
Any more of those pet peeves that you saw?
Yeah. Or things that I do.
Yeah.
Stand too early on flights, me.
Oh,
all
the
the
worst.
time.
Prison. Immediate prison.
I do it all the time because I hate flights. I'm claustrophobic. Get me the fuck off the plane. I'll pay extra to be at the front. I'll never take a flight in the back
The
again.
people who stand up to get on the flight before their section is called too drives
No,
me
I know
bananas.
I don't really know, but Tim, like when the plane
Bananas.
lands, I just want to get the fuck off the plane. Like I have.
I
panic
get it,
attacks.
but like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
I have heard that I could see tall people wanting to stand up if they haven't stood up in a while, just to like stretch out. Then you can sit back down. But the
That's
people-
what I do. I stand up, stretch for like 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes,
3
1
minutes.
minute, and then not even 3 minutes, maybe
Not,
1
not-
minute,
not even.
and then yeah,
You do-
long
you do
enough,
this,
and then I
you're like,
take
then you sit back down.
yeah, exactly, and then I take my seat again because that's because what's the point?
More mistakes, Pat. I see incorrect use of there, and there. I do it all the time. I'm definitely guilty of that. And you've seen my tweets. They're all usually lowercase. I fail with punctuation on tweets. I'm fucking brutal. But you get the drift.
I think, like, listen, standing up, like when the plane lands, clapping when the plane lands is really weird too. But
Oh, clapping? No, those guys are more tool. Like, I'm standing up to stretch on a 5-hour flight to Vegas, and I have a back and knee problem from playing sports when I was younger. And these guys are cheering that we made it to our destination. Who's the bigger fucking loser? Them. Cheering. We weren't supposed to get there? It was like you expected something bad to happen? Who cheers for a fucking destination? Anyway, to me, that's just fucked up.
and
I'll stand up if I want to stand up.
I don't know if I'm alone in this. You know, I'm going to put this one into the bracket. I want to see what it's going to end up being. But I don't think you should be able to recline your seats on planes. It makes.
I
No
agree
sense
with
to
you,
me.
Pat.
It makes
I agree with
absolutely
you.
no sense.
People do it to me all the time. They smash my face when I'm leaning forward because sometimes you're just stretching your back or whatever. I've had that happen. I think they're a bunch of selfish fucking douchebags. I've never reclined my seat ever. And I told you the truth. Yes, I eat olives at the olive bar, or I might dip into some raspberries before I hit the checkout place when I go grocery shopping. But those people, to me, it's like, don't you even care about people's comfort? Like, that's a selfish move, in my opinion. Just saying. I've never reclined my chair, ever.
Me either.
That's the truth.
It sounds like you want to, Tim.
I do a lot of bad things.
Here's the thing.
like
It's
whatever,
my
but-
chair, and I paid for it. If it reclines and I want to recline it, then I'm going to recline
Yeah,
it.
but
You
you're,
want me
but
to
then you're
recline
going
my
into
chair?
somebody else who's going to recline and recline and
You know
recline.
what? You
It's like
don't
a
want me to
domino effect.
recline my chair. Make it so that my chair can't recline. If the airline, which is already reducing my comfort level at every turn by adding more seats and making, giving me fewer and fewer products on the flight, if the slightest bit of comfort I can receive from reclining my seat back 1/10 of an inch or whatever is too much to bear, then make it so that the seat can't recline back. I'm sorry. Why should I have to be less comfortable than I can be?
For the common good of the people behind you.
They can then recline their seat.
That doesn't
I
that doesn't
do-
really help anything. It's just you
No, it
reclining
doesn't. Yeah, of
fucks
course
up
it does.
everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it's a chain effect. If everyone reclines, then eventually, like, everyone loses. If everyone just kept it the same way, we're all dealing with the same problem.
Then why is my seat made in such a way?
Because the airplane's so fucking old, the seats are so beat down when you're leaning, it reclines. They're pieces of shit. They can't. You think they got time to fix that? They got to clean up the plane before they get like in the air again. Like that. That's the least of their problem.
It has
All
the
these chairs are
functionality
fucked
for a reason. I like it.
up. Oh, you got it. Asked to switch seats on plane. I do it all the time.
I think that
I've
one
never done
depends. It really depends.
I don't have a problem with it. I've just never
Want to
done
know
it.
why? Because if I'm a guy that never used to piss, but now I have diabetes and I want to be on the
Aisle side?
on the aisle because I go to the
Yeah.
bathroom a lot now. I never used to. I used to drink a case and sit there, da 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 Vegas, not even taking a piss while the people would go up 4 times. I don't want to be that guy to bother them. Give me the one close. Give me the aisle, please.
I like the window seat, but that's
I like the
I
window so
used
I can
to.
lean
I
my head
used to
against
love
it
the
and
window.
sleep.
I used to love the window. Now, not so much.
but I'm also a little person, so I can scooch in and out pretty
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, you're good, Pat. You'd be a good guy to fly with, actually. I know a lot of people have hated to fly with me. I've had panic attacks. I met a doctor on the plane, though, Tim. You could really appreciate this. The guy, they almost kicked me off the plane coming back from Vegas. I couldn't breathe. This guy gave me his Bose, and I'm sweating like bullets. Like, this guy was a really nice guy. He didn't have to do this. He gave me his Bose headset, those really expensive ones that I didn't hear any sound. He's like, breathe. And it was almost like a hypnotist. And like literally in 20 minutes, I was just drooling all over myself. I was out. Like, it was awesome. Almost like getting choked out in an MMA fight. The guy saved my life. He gave me his number. He goes, if you have any problems with mental health and passing out, here's my number. I actually called him once. What a nice guy. He could have told me to fuck off, but he was nice. I made this guy's life miserable, and he was nice to me.
Tim, do you have any pet peeves that you would like? You haven't even seen the list, but is there anything that
No, I haven't seen the
off
list.
the top of your
Great
head?
list.
I mean, one of the things I mentioned was that those people who stand up for who get in line to get on the plane before it's time to get on the plane. That drives me crazy.
I wish
don't-
airlines would have some gumption, because I'm completely with you on this, especially like around, like everywhere now has the zone boarding, and you can get up if you stand in your proper zone. I have no problem with that. But it's the people that just kind of like mill about, then you don't know what line is what line. They're clearly not going on until last. I understand that you want to get on the plane because you want to have access to the overhead compartment to put your bag. You don't want to be the person who checks the bag. I completely understand it. But if you get caught in a line and you are not a part of that zone, you either have to board last or you're kicked off the flight. You do it twice. You do it. Everyone implements it for 2 weeks. No one is doing that shit again.
I mean, I agree. I agree completely.
I don't understand the hot dog. Put ketchup on a hot dog. What's
It's just disgusting. It's just
I
immoral
would
behavior.
say I would say mustard is meant for hot dogs. Mustard on a hamburger is more of a problem than ketchup on a hot dog. Mustard on a
Wow.
hamburger is not the combination. Like, mustard is meant for sausage, like street meat. That's the way.
Mustard's
it
good on any meat.
I put
basically.
ketchup on my hot dog. I put relish, ketchup, and mustard. Mayo too.
I mean, I
Bacon
don't
bits, if I
support that.
could. Well, there's Dan
Yeah,
diabetes.
that's
for you.
fine.
Those were the good old days. Yep. Mustard.
Well, do you have any other
What else you got?
any other pet peeves, Tim, before we go to a different topic?
A lot of them are just like hygiene related. I can't stand it when people do things that aren't clean.
Like
People who, for example, if I ever see someone walk out of a washroom without washing their hands, that drives me nuts.
Oh, that's disgusting.
People
I
who
highly
chew their
disagree.
fingernails in public. I don't like that.
Whenever
I chew my fingernails in my car.
we played poker the other night, Tim, I pissed on my hands and didn't wash them, and then shuffled
That's
the cards
terrible.
and handed it to you.
That's just terrible. That's terrible behavior.
I will
you
say
should-
this, Pat. I'm with Tim. I buy deodorants at a high pace. Like most people go in, like when that degree's on for $2.88, I'll buy 20 sticks because you know what? I always want to smell fresh. And and my girlfriend says, for a big guy and you sweat, you smell very, very good. And I say thank you because I do have other qualities that are not perfect, but hygiene is important too. Yeah, there's so many smelly people around. Like it's very frustrating when you're in an enclosed space and somebody reeks. A lot of people have real bad sweat. Like I'm lucky that my sweat doesn't smell like shit because some people smells like shit. It's awful. Not cool.
So not washing your hands. I mean, I feel like that one's
Smelly
pretty straight.
food.
I feel
Smelly
like
food.
not washing your hands is pretty straightforward, Tim. Like people know you're
Yeah,
supposed to wash your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This isn't Seinfeld with Poppy's Pizza where the guy takes
Yeah.
a piss and cherry.
foods that smell strong in enclosed spaces. Like I got no time for that.
I agree.
People who don't know how to use the word fewer or less and constantly confuse them. Oh, that drives me bananas.
Hey, it drove you so bananas. I now use it properly. So thank you.
Yes, I know. It's just such bad form to use.
What are we talking
incorrectly.
about? What
And
do you say?
someone says that person scored less goals than someone else. Like no,
fewer.
it's fewer
Fewer
goals.
Yeah.
Fewer is it used fewer for a countable object and less for an uncountable object.
I actually do. I screw it up once in a while, Tim, but yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, everyone can make it on, but some people do it all the time. It's like, oh man, come on. We're trying to have a society here.
Call instead of text, Pat. Sometimes I like the personal touch. You know what the problem with texting is? You get things get misconstrued. A lot of the time, I thought somebody sent me an angry text. It wasn't. I just like to figure it out personally. I'd like a door-to-door visit, carrier pigeon, whatever. But sometimes a quick call solves a problem.
Disagree.
So, I'm guilty of that.
If you want to talk, like if you want to call me, and you've done it before, you text me like, "Hey, can I call
Yeah.
you?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, I'm available
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now." Most of the time, if I get a call, I assume it's spam and don't even look.
Okay, that's no. For people, you're right. Like when I get mysterious number, yeah, I'm with you. But I like sometimes it's weird though. Like I get texts from my brother, and I don't know. Like, Tim, do you ever question that? Like, is he angry? Is he like, am I missing something here? So sometimes I just like to.
I'll
talk
just send
it out.
back a question mark.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what
But a
does that
question
even
mark
mean?
to me means we have a problem.
Well, it just means like I don't know what.
why.
To me, it means I have no idea what that last statement means.
Okay.
Could you rephrase it, sort of thing?
Yeah. For me, when I see question marks, I'm kind of like, oh, this person, like, they want to dance. Like, you got a problem?
I feel like really that's you projecting onto it. I always hear it as like, "What?" or
Yeah.
Hey, what happened?
Not so
Yelling
much
at referees, umpires. I've done that many times. Sometimes they deserve to be yelled at.
as an athlete or as a parent.
As an athlete, parents who do it need to relax.
Yeah,
I've had that
I think that's
yeah,
what that's referencing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, so
Not
Tim,
giving
Tim, do you have another topic here? Because Cam's just going to
Yeah,
read the entire list here in a second.
Yes, I do have another topic. I don't understand what happened to internet cafes, and I think they should come back. I don't understand how they have been. I mean, they've been replaced by places like Starbucks, for example, selling coffee and having Wi-Fi. But that wasn't the point of an internet cafe. The purpose of an internet cafe was for the people to be able to access a computer or to be able to use the internet, in a more constructive way particularly when they're traveling. You say, oh, everyone's got a cell phone. Well, maybe I don't want to use my Wi-Fi or my data on that. I want to use Wi-Fi data elsewhere. Or I don't want to use my phone at all because maybe my phone is on low battery or something.
So
I'm not saying
hold
there
on. Your
needs to be
solution,
a library.
hold on. Your solution to a low battery on your phone would not be to plug it in. It would be to go find an internet cafe.
I think they should exist.
Why?
So that I can
why
use the
would they
computer
exist?
to do stuff?
But you hate going
For
in
all
public.
kinds of
You would
reasons.
never use this.
I've used internet cafes like 20 plus years ago to like send emails.
Yeah, when you didn't have computers in your pocket the entire time.
Internet
you can print
cafes
off a
were
boarding
good,
pass
Tim,
or-
when they had slot machines, VLTs, and gambling items on top of the internet to do your business. Like when our airline went under when we were in Vegas. Like those internet cafes are fine, but they have to be multi-purpose.
Fair enough, but it's like it's another instance where I don't even care about the coffee. It's like, I've long said that I think there should be bars without alcohol for people to hang out at, or fast food restaurants without the fast food for people to enjoy the experience. I think the internet cafe without the coffee is
A bar
exactly.
without alcohol is called church. And that's probably
Well, no,
gonna be your
this would be
person.
somewhere you could play darts or cards or
That's
whatever.
where people who don't drink go to meet. They go to
Yeah.
church groups or
Well,
they go to
that's
social
one-
activities where there's no alcohol.
Yeah,
Like, they're not going to go down to the fucking bowling alley.
Tim has described an AA meeting.
No, I'm talking about pub culture without the alcohol, which you can have, and I think. But internet cafes also provide people who. Some people don't have a phone, by the way. Not everybody.
Fucking
has
all the
a
homeless
smartphone.
people have phones around here.
They got a better
Not
one than me.
every-
I'm on a Samsung 8. These homeless
Yeah.
guys are on 16.
Also,
Not everybody has
Cam
a-
pointed out libraries have free computers with access to the internet.
Well, but you may not be near a library.
Well, you might
may-
not be
or
near
you-
a fucking internet cafe
Internet
either.
cafe.
Or you're a visitor and whatever.
These
It's
things
having
need to
internet
exist to
cafes-
make money. They're not a public fucking service.
Well, no, they're not a public service.
How do they
You're
make money
right.
then?
You sell for so many minutes of internet when you show up.
You know what, Tim? I'm with you on this. I'm sick
Thank
and tired
you.
of these fucking losers. No, just my point. I'm sick of these fucking losers who think they're writers hanging out at Starbucks. Have you seen
Oh,
my manuscript?
the
Go
worst.
fuck yourself. Have
The
another Seattle roast, asshole, and get out of my life. You know what? You're not writing anything. You're sitting here burning time looking for work.
They're
And that's
loiterers.
fine.
That's what they are.
I hope you are looking for work because sometimes it can be tough. But I don't want to see some asshole's fake manuscript when I go for a coffee. In and out, please. Thank you. Done.
Yeah, these
There need to be more internet cafes. They were
Pat, remember
popular.
that one
They
at the
fell off
store?
the face of the earth.
Do you remember that Starbucks there? I saw so many people talking on there. Oh, my manuscript for this. It's like, why? How come every waitress in Canada is like, oh, this is my job where I hate and I'm looking forward to being an actress or whatever. How about you just fucking do your job? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I like about the States. When I go down to the States, you know what they do? They fucking give you service. You're attentive. Very good at what you do. Here, it's like, oh, I hate doing this, and I'm going to do that. You're going to get your food whenever I give it to you, 45 minutes. Boo, woe is me. I got something better going on. Well, you know what? I've lost jobs, and I dressed up as a piece of hash to pay bills. Get it together. Come on.
You really sound like your take on people who work in coffee shops comes from early 90s Gen X movies like Reality Bites.
Yes, it does, because it still exists.
Huh?
You know what, Pat? I'm going to tell you one thing, and this is the truth. This is not a knock on. It is actually a knock on Canada. Our service, the people that are in the industry, very, very few. I'm not going to say all, take pride in what they do. You go down to the States, you go to a fucking any type of restaurant, service. Know why I tip you huge? Because you did a great job. Here it's, oh, this is just something that I don't want to do in between something that I do want to do. And the service in Canada reeks, especially in Toronto. That's my take.
And we're expected to tip on everything now.
Yeah,
Cam,
and
which is
I still
ridiculous.
do. And
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
No, see,
You
now
don't
I've
deserve
started
anything.
to take a stand. I've started to take a stand. If I'm picking up from somewhere, I'm not tipping anymore. I'm not doing
Why
it.
were
If
you
I'm
tipping
picking
in the
up a
first
pizza,
place?
because if you go to, you mentioned Papa John's. I got Papa John's last week. You go to Papa John's to pick up a pizza. When you go to pay there, the first thing you get is a tip option. I'm not paying that tip anymore. I'm not doing it.
Tim, I
I
just went to Starbucks. I picked up a coffee and I got myself some egg bites. When they pass you the machine, it says leave your tip. You can just press no. It's super
What
easy
are
to do.
egg bites?
No, when I've started to do that. I'm not going to be shamed into this anymore.
No one's shaming you. It's just the default
No,
option.
that's the whole point
They're
of
not
having the tip
shaming
option
you.
is to
You're a
shame you.
fucking sucker.
No, it's to socially
It's
shame
not
me
to shame you.
into tipping. Yes, it is.
If you
It's
don't
not
think you
just
should
me,
tip,
it's
there's no
everybody.
shame in not tipping for something you don't think you should tip for.
Why did I have an issue with Uber starting at 20%? Why can't, if the guy's a fucking guy, a monster and almost got me killed, can I give him 8?
I mean, you can.
That's
just,
the issue.
You
No,
can
it's like
tip
20,
after and just
25,
put no
30.
tip if the guy tried to kill you.
Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I've been almost killed a lot. And Pat, by the way, Domino's, Tim, you got to hit on the double, the 50% days, load it up there, cash, no tip. I win. That's what you do on those days where they have the specials.
Have
Like,
you
oh,
had the
good.
handcrafted medium pizzas
Yes,
at
I have.
the
I've tried them
Domino's?
all.
They're
I've had 'em all.
so good. A friend of mine turned me on to those recently. The
Actually,
medium.
I do the thin crust and whatever.
I used to
It's a
do
little
that,
bit of
but
work.
the hand tossed crust. I think it only comes in medium that you get at Domino's. Oh my god, it's so good.
I'm not gonna lie, Tim. I think Domino's is average, but I love their 50% off sales, and that's when I go nuts. I buy like 3 pizzas and freeze them.
I don't know. I think they're better than average. I in terms of like fast food chain pizza, I think Domino's is better than average. Like pizza is average.
No, pizza's below average.
Yeah, pizza's bad.
Bottom of the barrel. Yeah.
See, I don't. It's okay, right? But it's not like I wouldn't eat it.
What? Okay,
It's
well,
okay.
let's play a game. What wouldn't you eat?
I don't know. There are pizzas that might be worse than that I wouldn't eat. I don't care for pizza with barbecue sauce on it. That makes me. I hate that.
Yeah, with these new little things with Alfredo sauce and barbecue
but
sauce.
that's not a
get
place you
that.
go to.
Yeah.
You would actually have to actively order barbecue sauce on your pizza.
I mean, I don't get pizza from Pizza. I like their chicken wings. They're pretty good.
Actually, I will say this, and I'll defend Tim. Their fried goods are actually their
Yeah.
chicken wings and all the
Pretty
other
good.
stuff they got, like cheese stick, like everything but their pizza is good.
Let me
And
ask.
I will say that
Cam,
their
let me-
garlic sauce is the best garlic sauce out of all the chains. I don't know how they did it. Me and my girlfriend actually, we go to Pizza to pick up the dipping sauces. It's the best.
Cam, you said that they have
Yes.
very good fried foods. Can you give me your top 3 places that don't have good fried foods?
That don't have good fried foods.
You can't think of one, can you?
Yeah, no, yeah. There's one by the mall at my house there. They got pizza too.
Sounds real.
Geno's Pizza. Their fucking wings suck. They're deep fried. They're horrible. They I don't know what kind of oil they're using, but it's shit. That's it. Everything else is great. I love chicken wings.
Any other topics, Tim?
I was wondering, is there just no more 1 hour photo places anywhere? Is it completely done with? Like, there are still some people who buy disposable cameras or
1 hour
use
photo?
disposable. Yeah,
All
like,
you got to do is just take pictures on your phone, and then you just get.
but
made
again,
up.
not everybody all the time has their phone or has the space to clutter up their phone.
Who was the last
With
person that you
100,000
saw?
photos.
Hold on.
No, but the question, who's got?
And like, I'm not saying everywhere needs to have them like they used to. I get it. I understand why not everywhere should have. But there ought to be in every city at least one 1 hour photo for people who aren't walking around all day taking 700 photos on their phone and selfies, who just have a disposable camera because that's what they have or that's what they bought and you can still buy them. Where do you get it developed? There should be a couple of places where there's 1 hour photo for tourists, particularly if you live in a town like Toronto where you have lots of tourists and people from all over the world. Not everybody has their phone. Not everybody has fancy international plans where they have to use their regular data or their Wi-Fi data, and they might want to use a 1 hour camera.
Hold on. Do you think that taking a picture on your phone uses data?
No, but what it does do is it takes up storage, and if you want to send it to somebody, you'd have to use data to send a text message with it.
So what you're saying is that the people with the disposable camera are the ones who want to send it to people.
Look, my point is people buy these cameras, use them.
Hipsters use disposable cameras.
There needs to be 1 hour photos. They're not everywhere, but I don't know if there's any anymore.
Walmart has 1 hour photo developed.
I don't think they do
Yeah,
anymore.
it's a good call, Pat. So does Black's
they do.
Photography. If you're looking for like a frame or something like that.
I've never seen them.
They don't advertise because no one fucking uses it.
Well, but I just thought that this should be there and it should be advertised.
Who are
so that
you
people
looking
know it's
out
still
for
there.
with internet cafes? Like, did your grandma tell you this? Is she doing this?
No. Although she does use an old-fashioned camera with the film in it that needs to be developed, but it's not like a disposable
I like
camera.
that. That's cool.
But it's just doesn't have a phone.
I still have a Pentax, but how am I going to use it, Tim? What am I going to fucking take a picture of?
But like
A squirrel? Like
here's the
grass?
thing here's what I can say that is a benefit when it comes to those cameras. You really cherish the photo that you take with
You're
it
right.
because you don't get 600 cracks at it. I get all the benefits of the modern newfangled phones. I totally get it. I respect it. But like there's something to be said about you get one shot at the photo and you line it up just right and it works out. And if it doesn't, that's kind of like
Tim's right. He's
thank
right.
you. Thank
Because
you.
I went to a job, Pat, in Yellowknife, and I told the people, listen, I know sports, but they're like, you got to take pictures because you're working for a newspaper. I go, don't worry, I'll write the stuff, but you got to teach me. So they gave me this Pentax camera. You have to know what the aperture is. So I had a book and I wrote down good picture, could have been better, needed more light, and I figured it out myself type of thing. And I have some cherished photos that I took. I actually won bronze in a Manitoba newspaper award for a picture of a skateboarder that I took that I will show you on a future episode of the show. And I have literally learned how to use a camera like that from scratch. Tim is right. Once you do a picture with like a manual camera and you do it right, it feels good.
Yeah, but it's
kind of
not
like, I guess, proper sex.
Anyone who is serious about taking pictures of what you're talking about, Cam, isn't using a fucking disposable camera.
Oh God, no.
Well, it doesn't have to. No, it doesn't have to be disposable camera.
Like,
but disposable camera is
use,
the lowest end of the
you can use
scale.
You can use my Canon if you want to take pictures.
Oh, you have a Canon?
Yeah.
Good camera.
People will notice like when I am filming at my home studio, that is a Canon big camera that I've converted into a webcam.
Beautiful.
Like
Canon's
photos used to be a rareness or a specialness to photos, and it's become completely cheapened over the last 20 years, where everybody has photos of everything all the time, and it's
I
like
still have some black
there's
and
nothing
white,
special
Tim.
to it anymore.
I have it in my fridge. I have black and white film photography.
Yeah, and
in
like
my
the
Pentax.
anticipation of wondering what your photos will look like during the 1 hour photo, like that was fun. Like those are the little things that have just been lost.
It's hard to, but the problem with that is like, I don't really think about like the process, Pat. You're right. Like now I got to get this stuff. I got to put it in here. I got to do this. Like what you get out of it compared to the convenience is kind of like, you know, it's one of those things that has to be special. Like I do it at a wedding. Let's put it that way. Or people that I haven't seen in a long time, very important people like my dad, stuff like that. But just regular occurrences, you're not going to bust out that like special film. Shit costs a fortune.
I get it.
Doesn't seem like you do.
No, I do. I get it. I get it. I mean, Cam and I are basically on the same page here. I see what he's saying.
Oh, I miss old photography. Yes. But yeah, disposable camera. I don't know where we went down with that boulevard, but I didn't know. Pat
I missed 1 hour photos. It seemed like it was a cool.
If anyone was going through the process of taking pictures on film, be it with a whatever camera or a disposable, you think they'd have a bit more patience than needing a 1 hour photo to develop the film.
That's a good point. They have a dark room.
I guess.
You think they'd want to get them developed properly, not as fast as possible.
Well, that's the whole process. If you're going to be like a real photographer, you have a dark room. You hang them like you do. That's an art form. Who the fuck goes to 1 hour photo? Like people who need those photos quick.
And if he really needed the photos that fast, why would you just take them on
Lionel
your phone?
Hutz there. You rest your case there. That's like
if I was going on a little trip, I'm just saying,
rooms.
if I was going on a trip, maybe I don't want to like jam my phone up with a million photos and not to have any storage issue on my phone.
How many photos are you taking that you're clogging up your phone?
Not that many, but like you could, and so I wouldn't want to do that.
Has that ever happened to you?
I want to keep the storage. I want to keep the storage on my phone so it doesn't overheat or whatever.
Okay, how many photos do you think you have on your phone? I have 13,000 right now, and I have tons of space.
I have. How many do you think I got, Pat? Photos.
I don't know how you know that.
I'm looking. I've opened up my photos. And it said,
but how do you see the number?
How many recents does it say you have?
I have 17 photos history on my phone. And that's most of me like cutting my face open with blood or like taking a picture of myself drunk to see how many drinks I've had. So nothing really.
Is that your manual breathalyzer? You just see how drunk you look?
Yeah, I go, ooh, not one.
Oh, I have.
That looks like 3 bottles of wine. That's Jameson shots. Yeah, it's the progression. Honestly, Pat, like artwork pictures out of the 17 are like 4. Yeah, they're pictures of like my that's the best, my photographic breathalyzer. Well played.
How many do you have, Tim?
2,048.
Okay, so you got
which seems like way too many.
You can like X8.
You might want to clean those up.
Do you ever delete any of these pictures?
Yes.
Do you?
Of course I do. I'll go back and go, I don't need that photo. I don't need that photo.
I got less. 1, 2, 3. Look, I got, this is what I got pictures of. Me drunk, me with my blood pressure monitor registers on a sheet of paper, a picture of garbage bags for my dad to get the right size, pills to make sure I take the right ones, a couple CDs that I have because I wanted to order a CD, IPTV login codes. Actually, Pat, now I have 7 photos. 1 human, me, drunk.
So Tim,
and I get it. I know. I totally get why people love
8x your photos and still have tons of room.
I totally get why people love taking photos on their phone. It's really cool for some people. They love it. I don't have Instagram. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Oh no, you don't.
That's
You
just
only
not
have
a work.
TikTok and Truth Social.
I don't have Truth Social. I don't like. So to me, taking a ton of pictures it's never something I've ever been into. So I've really enjoyed the days of when you only took a very small amount of photos and you really were very super careful because you didn't want to waste the film.
What?
And I think we've lost some of that cautiousness in the world where we just take 500 shots of everything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because you're terrible at taking photos. So when you do your 1 hour,
Well, I didn't take a course. No, there should be courses that
There
community
are
colleges
courses.
that
There
you can take on a
are
Saturday.
courses that you can take on this.
Not like professional camera, not professional.
What? Here's how
photography
you
course.
press a button and point that way. Press the button.
No, I
asshole.
want
there
the type
you
of
go.
classes that you go to the Apple store and they're teaching a class to people. I'd love to go to one of those type of classes for things like how to take a photo.
Oh,
Just a surface level. Here's how to take an effective photo. Here are 2 or 3 pointers that you want to know. And I don't need to be an expert.
pretty
I'm not
simple,
going to be an expert.
Tim. I'll give you a class right now. Full frame. Make sure the light meter is right in the middle, maybe a little bit higher at the aperture. Press the button. Bob's your uncle. There you go. If it's below the photo will be too dark. If it's too high, it'll be sun exposed. Middle. Fool around with the numbers. Click.
But look, I got a
Trust me,
phone
I
here that
figured
has
it out.
cinematic and portrait and pano and slow-mo and time lapse.
Slow-mo's a video.
I'd love to
Time lapse
know
is a video.
I'd love to know the ins and outs of these options. I get that portrait mode seems to to foreground what you're taking the photo of more clearly and sort of pale the background out a little bit.
There you go.
But beyond that, I would. So these are the sorts of things I'd like to be able to take a Saturday morning. I got the time, a Saturday morning class on 101's picture taking. That'd be cool.
Well, just for me, when was the last time you Googled classes by this?
Well, I haven't.
Well, Halifax photography and Lightroom classes. Here you go. You can go to sandraadamson.com. She'll teach you how to use these things.
I'm just saying, a one-time.
What do you mean you're just saying? I just told you where you could do it by your house.
I hope I could do it by Zoom or something.
So you don't actually want to do it, is what you're saying.
Well, I like the idea of doing it.
So you don't want to do it.
I do want to do it.
Do you have the grid on your phone when when you take a picture? Do you have the 9-box grid?
Yeah.
What's a grid?
You don't know what a grid is?
Well, I know what a grid is, but no, I just have the thing that I'm going to take the photo of.
Okay, turn the grid on and then think about all your photos in threes. So either
How do I turn the grid on?
Left to right threes, top to bottom threes.
Siri, turn on the grid.
That
didn't work.
Good. No.
That didn't work. What? It didn't work.
Just think about photos in sections of threes. A third, a third, a third from top to bottom, a third, a third, a third from left to right. That's how you should think about photos.
Okay. Fair.
One more on your list, Pat, that I liked. I go into store while car is still parked at gas tank all the time to run in and get.
I think that's an American thing. They don't trust Americans with paying at the pump and weird stuff like that. It's really
what do I do
you
when
have
there's
to pay.
a Tim Hortons or something there?
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure in most states they make you pay before you get the gas. It's not
actually here.
It's
in
starting
Ontario,
here.
Everywhere is no, Pat. I'm telling you, I found the last one, and now they don't do it anymore. This Shell station got clipped, and I went to get gas today. I actually had to pay before go in and whatever.
The worst.
What?
And everywhere's like that now. No, there's not. I guarantee you, from a man, there's no more in Ontario other than going outside of the GTA where you could actually pump gas and pay inside. You have to do it before. I gave her $50 before, and they wouldn't turn on the thing unless I gave it to them before.
Wow,
it's ridiculous.
Not a thing here.
No,
well,
I mean there are more and more places that have designated pay at the pump only spaces.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
you scan your card and then you go pump and then it charges you whatever. But that's so you don't have to interact with the people inside. That's just convenient.
Yeah, I don't like that because I probably.
Well, you don't need to use it now, do you?
No, I don't, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have the option. It's fine if there's an option. But I mean, I prefer to have full service, so I can just go in and do whatever I'm doing when someone else pumps my gas.
But you don't want to do that because it costs more money, and you would never do it because you're cheap.
Yeah, I would. It'd be worth it to clean my windshield, stuff like that.
So,
You know what?
Tim-
Even I'd bite the bullet for that too.
Tim, in your settings, go to camera.
My settings.
Yeah, settings for your phone. It's a button.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and go to camera.
I don't think this is going to go well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now it should say
Oh, grid.
composition. Grid. Turn it on.
Okay.
You can also turn the level on as well to make sure that you're taking shots that are actually level.
Oh. Okay.
There, Pat, you're a
Oh, look at
photography
that.
instructor. You win.
Look at that.
Yeah,
There
you go.
you didn't have to take a class at all. You just had to ask me.
That's actually really cool. Oh, and look, you can actually level it out.
That's what he just said.
Yeah,
Aren't
but
you fucking
like,
listening. He just said, "Yeah, that
Wow.
was what he just said." Tim.
that's not as level as I thought it was.
Go to Home Depot, get a leveler. Fuck.
Wow.
What the heck? This is what
Okay.
you deal with every Monday. You got to bring me on, Pat, for golf picks and life tips. Holy,
Oh, wow. That's cool.
All right.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Did,
there it is.
anyone have anything final they want to add?
Nothing particular. I mean, I have stuff, but you don't want me to exhaust my entire list of things.
Oh, you got a quick one?
Yeah, I miss Tupperware. Everybody uses the plastic takeout stuff you get at like Chinese or Thai places, and I get why, because it's convenient
Who
and you get
doesn't
it for
use
free.
Tupperware?
But but that's not Tupperware. Everyone now uses those reusable plastic containers, the black ones with the clear plastic lid that you get from like Chinese food or Thai food or whatever.
Oh, no, are
And
you talking about
nobody
ones
uses-
with glass. Like with
No
with
one
the
uses the
lid?
good top. Almost no one uses the good top, in my experience. And maybe this is a very particular experience to
You
me
kidding me?
and the people I know.
My whole place is filled with Tupperware. When I give my dad meals and stuff, I go put it in Tupperware and deliver
See,
it to him in
So
Tupperware.
then I'm willing to concede this is very specific to me, but everyone I seem to encounter, their Tupperware is these reusable things that you get from fast food.
What
places.
are they doing
Not
with? Hold on.
reusable.
What are they doing? Like, there's obviously storing food in it, but where are they storing the food? Are they coming to your house? Is that where you see it?
No, I see people like, for example, if they're having leftovers, they put leftovers in those things.
Are you
or
sure?
if they're preparing lunches?
Are you sure that the leftovers just aren't in that container to begin with?
No. Like it's a Thanksgiving prime example. That if Thanksgiving dinner, I see people put their turkey in one of those, black plastic containers with the clear lid that like chicken balls would have come in or something, or rice would have come in.
See,
Really?
when I am storing
I see that
things at
all
home,
the time.
when I'm storing things at home, I still use like the thick Tupperware containers. If that food is traveling with me anywhere, I'm taking the one I'm throwing out after I eat it.
Okay, so I don't like to throw them out because that's wasteful because I can reuse them.
But you don't reuse
But
them.
I
You just
also-
said you don't reuse them.
I do reuse them, but I
So
miss
you're
the
so
Tupperware.
you're the problem.
I am part of the problem, yes, because Tupperware is very expensive and this stuff is free.
It's simple. You put Tupperware, like you'd use that for things like Ziplocs will do the job. If you got shitloads of turkey, you put it in a big Ziploc and whatever. And then like Tupperware is for other things that just, you know what I mean? They are a disaster in a bag. That's the thing. And yeah, anyway.
Okay, so maybe this is very unique to me, but it just seemed like that's like the 21st century's version of Tupperware, are these
What?
takeout
The
containers that you
shit
get.
stuff that they give you at fast food? But that's not Tupperware. Those are one-use items. Tupperware is things you can use over and over and over and over.
No,
and
if you
over.
go to a Chinese food place and you order out, the stuff you get is better than like the cheap stuff that you throw out immediately, but not nearly as good as real Tupperware. It has a lid, it seals, like, it's actually pretty decent, but it's not
I don't
nearly
know
as
what
good as
fucking
like,
restaurant you're going to. They send it in. I get Chinese food and bought like wet, soggy, greasy boxes, and they go in. the
oh no,
garbage.
so we don't get it, at least the places I don't go. You get them in plastic containers.
Huh.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Pat?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I
Okay.
usually throw them out because I don't give a shit. But my wife like washes them out, and she'll use them like if there's like we went to the lake 2 days ago, and we just brought a whole bunch of fruit and stuff like that in that for the kids.
Yeah,
once they were
exactly.
once they were finished eating it, we just chucked it in the garbage. That way you don't have
Okay,
to
so I
like be
wouldn't
throw them
responsible
out.
to like bring it back.
What
or-
is that Halifax's version of the Hamptons?
What?
The
Going-
lake?
The lake? Well, no, I joined.
We have lots of lakes.
I actually joined. I joined an aquatics club, so I was also there on the weekend as well.
Oh, fantastic!
Is this
A
the
lot of
aquatics
piss
club?
tanks at the water.
Is
club.
this the nice aquatics club?
It is. It has clay. tennis courts.
Yeah, it's
You can
nice.
take sailing there.
geez.
There are 4 separate saltwater pools, and it's on
The
the
pool
ocean.
right down by the water is the best one.
That is correct. My
big
5-year-old
tall
son
wall.
was really enjoying jumping off the diving board and going down the big slide once he got used to the
And
salt water.
you can take boats out too, right?
I just said that there's sailing. There's also
Yeah, but-
kayaking. There's I mean, you can do the paddle boarding where you stand up on it and go out into the ocean. There's a ton of
Paddle
stuff you can do
boarding
there.
is the worst. That is the fucking stupidest shit.
Oh,
that
d-
ever-
I do not.
I
mind.
don't feel. I
What?
don't think I'd be any good at it.
Yeah, no shit.
No shit, but it's stupid too. You either get a canoe, a kayak, or a boat. Paddle
It does
board,
seem-
it's a
it does
loser-
seem
it's
like
a
a bit-
loser play.
It does seem like a bit of
Loser!
yeah. It does seem like a bit of
It
a peacock
sucks.
thing, right?
And then
It's
you hit
very
a wave.
show off.
Oh, I'm on my paddle board. I'm going nowhere. Then the wind changes. Oh, that's fun. Enjoy that. See ya.
Yeah,
Paddle-
I
that
think
is a-
someone's
paddle
just
boarding is-
showing off on how. Oh, look how great my
Paddle
balance.
board
is.
is
No,
the stupidest
paddle boarding
person.
is very. Listen, I don't do it a ton, but paddle boarding is very peaceful because you don't really. Because when you're in a canoe, you always have, or a kayak, you have the want to go as fast as possible because you're doing something. It's not like a very like jaunty and casual thing. Paddle boarding is. You're just standing there, just going like this. You're not in a hurry to go anywhere. It's very relaxing.
I disagree. It is more stressful than canoeing.
Cam, when
kayaking,
was the
or
last
anything.
time you stood up on a paddle board?
It's been years ago, but it fucking sucks because the wakes of boats will knock you around. It's just paddleboarding stinks. You don't get anywhere.
It sounds
you
like
don't
it,
feel
it
peace.
kind of sounds like you stink at paddleboarding.
It's like trying to stand on one of those flutter boards.
We'll
in the
see
pool.
about that.
Doesn't
Why
work.
don't you get the damn paddle boards out at your aquatic club? Then we'll see how I do on the paddleboard. I
Well,
just
you
think
know
it's
what?
a stupid
I
thing.
will get you a guest pass. You can come with me.
Time
The
to
thing is,
paddleboard
though,
again.
It's
Let's
not
go.
really on a lake. Yeah, that's the arm there.
Yeah, it is. It's
Oh, okay.
it's on the inlet of the ocean. Yes, but there are
Yeah.
parts where it's not super wavy in like because it's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But it's salt water.
yes, it is salt.
My issues with paddleboard is if there's a problem with the weather and you're stuck somewhere, you're fucked. Like
Yeah,
at least in a
Don't
canoe
go
and a kayak,
don't
I
go
get back.
paddleboarding in a hurricane. Seems like
I mean,
pretty,
I wouldn't.
pretty.
Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't do it anyway.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
No, I would be afraid of falling.
But the thing is, Cam, if you ever need a doctor, we got a doctor like that after started going there. Just meet, it's all just doctors and lawyers. If you ever need a professional, go to an
Yeah.
aquatics club.
Yeah, Lou Mayon told me he was going to take me to his doctor, John Hopkins. And where did that go? Now I got a guy who's fucking worse than Dr. Nick Riviera. But that's okay. I'm surviving.
Well, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience for CUST Corner 49. Remember to subscribe to the CUST Corner exclusive feed on Spotify and Apple, along with the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. I want to thank Cam, and of course, I want to thank Tim Andercust
Tim Andercust.
Not my name.
for being on the line today. Cam, would you be down for more of these?
Sure. You get me at the right time. Yeah. Maybe morning's better when I'm like less lucid. We'll have probably better answers, I guess. You never know when you're going to get me, Pat. Usually when I'm on one of my trips and, hitting the good stuff.
That's when we want you. Of course. Smash a like while you're out there and use code MAYO at Underdog Fantasy right now for a deposit match of up to $250. Thank you all for watching. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!